Hello and welcome to this Good Body Feel Movement video. In this video, we will move through a bunch of my favorite spinal resets to get things circulating and energized and just feeling good. So feel free to set yourself up with a blanket for some extra support if you'd like, and a block or a bolster to come to sit on to start, and we'll begin. So once you have found whatever setup feels good for you, where you can feel comfortable sitting and moving for a few minutes, we will drop into our breath. So perhaps taking your eyes away from whatever device you are watching this on, perhaps closing your eyes, and arriving into your embodied experience by attuning and aligning your attention with your breath. Feeling your breath enter and leave your body. Noticing its reach. Noticing where it fills up and what it empties out, without judgment. And taking a nice big cleansing breath to arrive, big inhale, fill up. And side out. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Nice and easy, not really pushing for range, just slowly starting to wake things up. And then take the head up and over to the other side. We'll go back and forth a couple times, trying to connect to this notion of lengthening through the crown of the head as you come up through center. And then letting gravity do its thing once you've landed on one side. No pushing, no reaching, just allowing. Maybe observing how new space is created when we just allow. Next time you're over to the right side, hold there for a couple breaths. Observe sensation and breath on this side. Notice where you might be gripping or holding and see if you can soften. And in whatever way feels good, add some rotation, bringing your chin towards your shoulder any amount. And then up towards the ceiling any amount. Noticing how your body responds to this movement. What gets involved. What wants to be a part. Pausing with your chin up towards the ceiling. So not cranking, just bringing it to whatever edge feels sustainable. Breathing there for a moment. Chin to chest, same thing, hold and observe. Rock your head to center, chin towards the chest, hold here, feel the stretch in the back of the neck. And then roll your head up, coming to center, and just notice the difference between sides. Left ear to left shoulder. Experiment with those rotations again. And not holding this side's rotations or range to the expectation or accomplishments of the other side. So let this range, or let this side's range be this side's range. Let this side's sensations be this side's sensations. Observe, hold space for difference. Next time the chin is towards the ceiling, hold. Noticing any micro or macro shifts the longer you hold. Chin towards shoulder, same thing, pause and observe. Bring your chin to center again. Let the head hang heavy. Maybe taking your hands on your kneecaps, accentuate this rounded shape of the spine, tuck the pelvis under. Tilt the pelvis forward, unravel and extend through the spine, sending the chest up to the ceiling. Head slightly tilts back. And then repeat, tuck pelvis under, wave through the spine, round. And release, unravel, lengthen, and extend. Twice more like that. Shoo. Finding a nice exhale to round and scoop the belly. Inhale to rebuild, stack, and stretch in the opposite direction. Find center through the spine, even weight through both sit bones. The right hand plants down any amount, and then the left arm comes up and over. So reach it up and over into a side bend. Feeling some space start to create on the left side of the body. And then windmill, left hand down, lengthen through center, press down through the right sit bones as you reach up and over with the right fingertips. So not making these about getting into the deepest, curviest bend ever, but can we balance this idea of length and space? Creating more room between the rib cage, the waist, so that our breathing muscles can increase our capacity for air. One more time over to the right, hold in this side bend. Pressing as firmly as feels good into the right hand or fingertips. Again, breathing and accentuating the space here on the left side. Circle your left arm back behind you, rotating your chest and spine any amount. And then circle the arm forwards, rounding through the spine. So finding these big, big circles, or as big as you'd like, as small as you'd like. Allowing the spine and rib cage to follow suit. Staying steady through the pelvis and the sit bones. One more big circle like this. Next time the arm is up, keep it up. If your spine likes extension and rotation, maybe let the hand fall back any amount. Chest open to the ceiling. Breathe here. And then circle the top arm down towards the right. Both hands over to the right, so we're twisting, rounding the spine, scooping the belly in, creating some space in the back of our body. Walk your hands through center, so they're in front of you. Roll up one bone at a time. Rebuilding the spine, taking a moment to assess and center, noticing the impacts of those movements. And then left hand finds support on the left side, right arm reaches up, lengthen through the spine, send it on over to the left, rooted through both sit bones. Circling your top arm, letting your rib cage and spine follow as much as they want. And if you prefer stabilizing through the torso, or if that's what your body needs, feel free to stabilize through the torso and just play with this arm circle without moving anything else. Knowing that everything is an option and that your body's sensations are data for you to listen to. Next time the arm is up, keep it up. Either holding the spine stable or adding that rotation and extension, letting the arm fall back behind you any amount, chest up. Noticing where the breath lands, where it's getting stuck. Circle arm up and over, rotate down towards the floor, both hands to the left. Press into the hands, round through the spine. Maybe bringing your attention to your abdominals. The more that you exhale and scoop the abdominals in, the more space you might be able to access in the back of the body. Bring your hands forwards in front of you, roll it up bone by bone, articulating and restacking. Noticing the difference. Next, inhale, take the arms up, circle them back behind you, tilt the pelvis forward, fingertips land on the floor. And then exhale, swing the arms back around, tuck the pelvis under, round through the spine. So coming back to those spinal flexion extension, except adding these arm circles in. And if your body's not into the arm circles, feel free to keep the hands steady on the knees and just moving the spine the same way we were at the start. One more time, back and forth, syncing this movement with breath. Clearing out any traffic jams that might be sticking around in the spine. And roll yourself on up. If you're propped up on something, remove it from beneath you and find your way onto your hands and knees. So a little tabletop action. Sway from side to side a little bit. And as if you're a cat kneading on its bed, just palm your way back and forth. And then find center, shift your weight forwards any amount, keeping the spine relatively still, and then back. So not overarching or over-rounding, hinging in the arm sockets, hip sockets. And then turn these into circles, so circling over to the left, forwards in front, to the right, back behind. Letting the heads of the arm and leg bones massage their sockets, circle in the opposite direction. Once you're back, or once you feel even, bring yourself back to center. Send the tailbone up towards the ceiling, let the belly fall towards the floor. Chest reaches between the hands, crown of the head reaches up to the ceiling. And then engage the abdominals, tuck the pelvis under, sequentially round through the spine, push the floor away from you. Move back and forth several times, seeing if you can crawl up the length of the spine one vertebra at a time. So rather than willy-nilly flipping back and forth between these two shapes, can you bring some effort, mindfulness, and attention to articulating, undulating the spine, noticing where things want to move in chunks, Noticing where things are moving fluidly. Next time you're rounded, stay rounded and hold. Actively send the pubic bone towards the forehead and vice versa. Breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. And then release that. Finding a neutralish position with the spine. Squeeze your left rib towards your left hip, like you're looking over your left shoulder. And then up and over to the other side. So finding these side bends. Squeeze the left obliques, look over your left shoulder. Lengthen through center and squeeze over to the other side. So finding those same side bend efforts from when we were sitting, except how does it feel here now? What new sensations do you have access to now that you're here in tabletop? And one more time to each side, holding towards the left for a little bit longer. Holding to one side for a little bit longer. And the longer you hold the shape, what new information can you collect? What new space can you create? What new gunk can you release? Last side, long hold. Bring it back to center. One round of cat-cow to reset. Bring your spine to neutral. Shift your weight over to your left. Scoop the chest down towards the floor and circle it up the other side. And so keep repeating that, creating these circles and spirals with the spine, the rib cage. Letting the chest spine find extension at the bottom, and then flexion, that rounded shape at the top. 3-dimensional circles. Living your best concrete mixer fantasy here. And then circle in the opposite direction. And again, maybe try to spot those zones that feel sticky. And can you spend more time in those zones? Maybe even going back and forth, like you're ironing out the wrinkles in those zones. Let's go one more time. Once you are even, tuck your toes under. Press up and back into downward dog just for a moment, and then walk your hands back so that you're in this forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. And if you've got blocks, you can place your hands on blocks. Let the head hang heavy, let gravity help decompress the spine. Then steady the weight on both feet. Hands to blocks or the shins. Inhale to wave the spine halfway up. Exhale to melt it back down into your fold. Twice more. Inhale, up, up. Exhale, ha. Last one, up. And down, ha. Ground down through the heels, scoop the navel up, and let that abdominal engagement slowly help you rebuild the spine. One bone at a time. Let your head and arms be heavy until the very, very, very last moment. Once you're at the top, roll the shoulders up and back. Maybe circle the arms up. Exhale, hands down, chin down. So slowly melt your spine down again. And again, connect to this abdominal scooping to help find articulation of the spine. At the bottom, find one wave. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, ha. Roll it on up, one bone at a time. Shoulder roll at the top. Big inhale, arms reach up. Hold here for a moment, squeeze the butt forward. Keep pulling the ribs into the chest, send the elbows wide, send the chest through. Exhale, arms reach back up. Cross the hands in front of you like you're giving yourself a hug and round through the spine. Go back and forth a few times. Inhale to come up, lengthen. Engage through the glutes. Stay contained through the front of the body, even though you're moving into the standing back bend. Exhale, take the arms up and around. One more time like that. Reach it on up. Elbows wide. Hold in this back bend for a moment. Find that glute engagement, and even though the ribs are reaching away from the body, you can maintain a sense of containment there. Take the arms up. Exhale, round, hugging yourself, rounding through the spine. So staying in this rounded shape, find a deeper tuck of the pelvis if that feels good. And then rock on over to the left, find a side bend. Rock on over to the right. Back and forth. Next time you're over to the left, hold, pause, stay in this like huggy side bend shape. If it feels okay, maybe take the arms in opposite directions. So it's like you're holding a monkey bar, holding onto a monkey bar on the right side. And bring the hands back to center, rock on over to the opposite side. Stay with the hands closer if you want to play an experiment. Take the arms out, knowing that you can experiment and come back to where we were before. Hands back, rock through center. Roll it up, inhale, reach up. Elbows wide, strong glutes press forward, chest lengthens up. Arms reach up, level out through the spine. Left hand drops, hold on to that monkey bar again, side bend, again to the left, but entering it from the side. Inhale sweeps you up, exhale takes you over. Find that balance of reaching up through one hand and then releasing, let gravity do its thing on the other side. And again, up and over to the left. You can stay here if this is enough. If you want a little bit more sensation, play with bending the knees, sinking the hips while still reaching up, 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 up. Press it on, up. Exhale over, straight leg side bend to start. Bend the knees, sink the hips if that feels like where you want to go. And all the way up. Adding on, straight leg side bend. Bend the knees, sink the hips. This top arm circles down to the left, and then the left hand picks it up on the other side. Inhale straight up. Exhale, side bend. Bend the knees, sink the hips. And circle. One more time to each side. Straight up. Side bend with straight legs. Adding the knees if you want. Circle and reach the right arm to the left. Finish and pick up the circle on the other side. Last time. Exhale, side bend, deepen, and circle. At the top, take both hands up. Exhale, pull the arms wide, finding your standing back bend again. Inhale up. Exhale, hug around the spine. Let the hands fall. Continue to round and roll down. At the bottom, hands to shins. Inhale, wave up halfway. Bend the right knee, plant the right hand, and then spiral open any amount to the left. Straightening the left leg as much as feels good. Getting real small on the right side so that the left side can feel more spacious. The exhale brings you down. One wave through center, inhale halfway up. Exhale, ha. Plant left hand, bend left knee, spiral up and over. One more time each side. Exhale brings you down. Inhale waves you up halfway. Exhale, bend right side, plant right hand. Inhale opens you up for a few breaths. Melt yourself down through center. One last wave, up. Exhale, shrink on the left side, open up on the right. A reminder to let your two sides be their individual sides. Letting their needs, their range be their individual needs, individual range. Bring it back down, hold at the bottom, one wave. Exhale, ha. Stay here, or maybe interlacing the hands behind the back, straightening the arms any amount, and adding this little shoulder stretch, or big shoulder stretch. Either releasing the arms first, or 3 waves with the arms behind you, as if your arms are picking your spine up. Inhale, and exhale, ha. Melting back down, twice more. Honoring whatever your sensations are signaling. Taking a different arm position if that feels better. Last one. Oops. And then let your arms fall. Bend the knees, super slowly roll up. Bone by bone by bone by bone by bone. At the top, find a couple shoulder rolls. Plant through the feet, take the arms up towards the ceiling. Find one last back bend, squeeze the butt forward, draw the elbows wide, chest through. Stay here or revisit that same arm action we were just exploring. Interlacing the hands, pressing them away from you. And even though this is a back bend, find some front body containment, pulling the fronts of the ribs down. Release the hands, sweep them up. Exhale, round, give yourself that hug. Rock side to side with this hug. Folding the torso as forward as feels good. Maybe playing every round, positioning your torso in a different way. Just grease out different levels of the spine. Next time you're over to the left, hold. Bring both arms wide, right hand up, left hand down. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Last round of circles, right hand circles to the left, left arm picks it all the way up. Inhale at the top, exhale round, circle over to the right. Lengthen both hands, bend the knees, sink the hips, and circle. Coming all the way to the top, pause here, fingertips up, palms forward, feet grounded. And just be in this space of deep observation. How do things feel? Finding a balance of rooting through the feet, extending upwards through the fingertips. Every inhale expands you outwards three-dimensionally. Every exhale hugs in towards your center. Feeling yourself move and exist in all directions, in all planes. Side out, let the arms melt down. Two more cleansing breaths. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, last one. Sighing it out, Final moment standing here, arms down by the sides, or maybe taking a hand to chest, hand to belly. Feeling whatever sensations are alive and swimming inside you now. Naming them, feeling the resonance, welcoming them. Noticing what is new, what is the same. Final breath together. Peace, 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 everybody. Thank you for moving your spine with me in all of the ways. Hope it feels yummy. Peace.